Hello guys, my name is Firyal Imtinan Sya'ban and mostly people call me Firyal. And today I'm going to do my Midtest obligation. So wish me luck guys. And if you got interested on my Midtest obligation, keep on watching. Okay, and then the first problem is talk about an important experience that I recently had. And in my opinion, the important experience that I recently had is becoming a 5th Division Secretary of ETSO. Yeah, I know this is very common experience for you all guys, but I enjoyed it and it is just something new for me because I don't really like for joining an organization, especially had a position in there. But I don't know how the last secretary asked me for replacing her position. Yeah, I was very shocked at that time, even though I have calculated this and a little bit aware for this, but it was still shocking me. Also, I had many experience in there with making an event, a proposal, many important letters, and beside of that I got a big month of secretary knowledge. And even though sometimes I felt exhausting for being secretary in there, but because I had to meet for prepare the proposal, also the event perfectly, and beside of that I still have to precise the estimate time for the event. But since I got the predicate as the secretary in there, it's always been a good journey for me. And the second problem is some people think that family is the most influence on the young adult. Others believe that friends are the most important influence on the young adults. Which one that I agree? I extremely agree that family is the most influence on the young adult because in my opinion, family is a basic for everything. Because at the very first time, we were learning everything and copying everything from our family. So that's for young adult. Young adult basic knowledge about something that prohibited or not is from their family. So young adult with good knowledge from the family, he or she will know how to hold themselves, how to manage the obligation cleanly, and to run their rightness wisely, and also how to select their friends so they are no the bother of their freedom. So I think the most influence is family. And for the third problem with the question, the woman expressed her opinion about the new policy, state her opinion, and explain the reason she gives for holding the reason. Okay, in this case, the women on the conversation doesn't agree with the new policy, which becoming an obligation of the student in that university, where they should join in the business studies program when the student should enroll activities in a small business. But the women in the conversation doesn't think that the new policy will be work as the women's brothers experience, which showing the very some policy that ineffective. Because the experience in there are less for our future career. In other words, it's only a wasting of time. As the fact that if we take a participation in like that in the company where were a student. Once we graduate, the competition for a permanent job will be impossible because of the reason above. And the fourth problem with the question, using the professor example, explain what an stabilizing shot is and how it is used. Okay, based on the conversation above, we can get the point about the meaning of the stabilizing shot is an image or a scene which shown at the beginning of the movie. The stabilizing shot set up as the introduction of the movie. For the atmosphere in the movie. Also, the atmosphere of time and the atmosphere of its own. For example, the movie that discussed above are shown as the situation like in the past, like in the 19th and 40s. And also the atmosphere and the establishing shot are mostly like darkness and gloomy. And after that, it was clearly the establishing shot in that movie has shown as the detail like a tall building, a big city, very set with the genre, which action. So, with the appearance of that establishing shot is a perfect way to introduce the movie. So it should be sweet with the genre and interesting, so it can build the mood of the spectators. Okay, and the fifth question is summarize the problem that the speaker are discussing, then state which solution that I would recommend it. Explain the reason for my recommendation. Okay, the problem that the speakers are discussing is about the women in this conversation want to move out from the outhouse, or in other words, her apartment, because she felt uncomfortable with that outhouse, and also there are something wrong with the pipes over there, and it needs 2 weeks for fixing the problem, and now she confusing 2 solutions in between for staying with her friends in her friend's apartment or renting a cheap hotel for 2 weeks. And in my opinion, if I were her, I prefer to stay in her friend's apartment, because in this solution is more affordable for her pocket, and also we can save our money, and furthermore it's clearly more safety because she will live with her friends, so she won't live alone as if she chooses hotel. Okay, and we are going to the last question. Using the points from lecture, explain how the patient plants defend themselves from insects. So from the lecture in the biology class by the lecturer, we all know that the patient plant defend themselves from the insect attack with the physical factor, and we can easily notice by checking look of the patient plant's appearance, because its leaves have a little sticky hair all over them. So because they are so numerous and dense in this condition, causing the insect cannot land on the leaves. In the other word, they can't eat the leaves because they don't even can land on it. So all over the leaves of the patient plant's features help them to protect themselves from insects. And I think that's all, guys. Thank you for all of you that have watched my video and wish me luck for my mid-test, and see you guys on my next one. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you.